Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, my video. Happy Valentine's Day. I definitely wanted to uh, talk to you guys about some things. Lately, I've been posting some videos how to make money through the stock market, dividend investing. But today, I have we're going to take it a step back. Take it a step back. So we're going to talk about this video is more so for beginners, beginner investors, and overall, this video is going to be a throwback to breaking it down. Personal Finance 101. Personal Finance 101. Talk about budgeting, saving, and then leaving, introducing from moving from saving into retirement. So before we start, just know past performance does not dictate any type of future performance, and just know that anything that I speak to you guys about today is due to educational purposes only. Remember, it's educational purposes only, guys. And so for this video, Personal Finance 101, I decided to take it old school. Let's go to old school. Let's go to step one. I've been recently talking about dividend investing, different stocks and investments that you guys can invest into. But I know for a lot of people, you have to. That's like more like step five and stick six. This right here is step one. Step one is figure out your budget, how to budget. And so what you're going to see is right here is that now for me, I uh, am an extreme person in terms of wanting to know my money and how much is coming out. So for me, I budget on a monthly basis. So for me, as you see, I've actually budgeted out for the entire year. So I'm knowing the exact money that's actually coming in my account, that's coming out of my account. Excuse me, and also just let you know that these figures I just made up so that you don't know, like, oh, this he's making this much. So I just create the figures, right? So let you decide whatever you want to decide and come up with conclusions you want to come up with. So right here, I created a particular example of how if a person, whether they're in their 20s, 30s, or 40s, uh, usually right now there are apps that you can download for this. I like to do old schools because since I'm a professional, I like to utilize Microsoft Excel. When you utilize Microsoft Excel, so for example, for February, the best way to figure out how much money, excess money that you have going out, you need to visually see it. A lot of times, what happens is that individuals have many different type of subscriptions, many different type of things in terms of uh, paying for their groceries and many different things that they're planning out. And so, basically, at the end of the month or every 2 weeks, you may be overspending. You may be overspending. You may not know how much money is coming out, and so you need to visually see it. And so, sometimes for me, I'm actually running through this exercise through Microsoft Excel, but I'm also running it through paper. So, right here for February, as you see, I'm visually seeing my bills so that you need to know uh, how much you can contribute to it, to your investments, or to saving up for a house, or saving up for your that wedding ring, or whatever goals. So budgeting leads to goals, financial management 101. And so if you are paying off, if you have a student loan, if you have a credit card bill, you're going to add it to right here. And so for me, how I do it is that depending on how you're being paid, sometimes people are compensated on biweekly checks, semi monthly checks, or if you're a salesman, sometimes you get commissions and reimbursements. And so this is how you can be able to break it out. So right here, I break it off as check one and check two. And so right now, when at the end of, I would say, June or July, when they reinstate the student loans, I will just add a line and add it right here. So Geico is my car insurance, my phone bill, my internet, water, gym, and then you figure out, okay, cool. I have, let's say this person, you have, roughly, let's say 2,300 to play with. Then you can add to your budget right here, just in case if you want to budget in terms of like food. A lot of times you never know how much you know actual bills going to cost because you may be your eyes may be bigger than your stomach, and so your food budget for that 2 weeks or for that month, maybe what 200, maybe 300, maybe 250, right? And so when you go out, you can go right here, but you'll know that you have a sense your hard bills that's going to come uh every month is boom. And then like for the second check, you put what happens comes on your second check. So for me, like Hulu, Netflix, those are the subscriptions that come out in my account. I put that right there. Center point is my gas. I got since I have solar panels for my house. I pay the actual equipment, and then security and mortgage, and right here I actually incorporate me putting $450 into my Roth IRA, and then for this month I had an extra $300 to be able to allocate towards my dividend portfolio. Now you may be different, so you may be different. You can, if you can't do that for this month, then you could just take that out, and then you can have more money for your second paycheck. But just know the bottom two is is what I put in for investments, but the rest are just hard bills that's going to come regardless. And then also to show you again, to show you again, I planned for March, April, May, June, and so on. And so you do this, and so you figure out how much money you're going to have every paycheck, and then you can plan out. If you want to go on a trip, if you want to uh, pay something off, then you would know how much money you actually have. Because a lot of times, if you're just paying bills and you don't know how much money you actually have, then how much how much you can contribute towards daycare and dating, or most importantly, investing for your future. You don't know. And so if I say, for you to invest $500 a month, which is $250 per check, if you don't know what's going to certain bills, then how do you know? Well, how much money you have? How do you even know your expenses, right? It's all just makes sense, right? So this is budgeting 101. You sit down, put your bills, split up per check. You add it all up, right? Boom. You add it all up, you subtract it, then now you know how much you have per check, which leads to now your savings. So then now you remember, always pay yourself. And that will lead to this next topic. Next topic is that once you know what you're going to invest into, now it's time to figure out what to invest into now. Now you know that, hey, I'm going to be making around 15 to 1800 on my first check net after all my bills, and then for your second check, let's say you make it 500 to 600, right? So like I said, if you know that you want to do $250 per check, which is $500 per month, then for the beginner investor, after you can be contributing at least 4 to 5% to your 401k, then you begin to open up either a traditional account, either you're going to open up a taxable account, my bad, or you open up a Roth IRA, and so they increase the limits of the Roth IRA from 6,000 to 6,500. Then you can figure out what to buy. And so typically for new investors that you don't want any complex dividend stocks or complex stocks, and you want to keep up, then you want to just keep it simple. You have VU, the S&P 500, which does mirrors the S&P 500 index. It has holdings of Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Alphabet, which is Google, Berkshire Hathaway, Nvidia, so on. And typically, right here, it costs $379.73 per share of VU, but you can dollar cost average. So basically, you buying $250 worth of VU. Your first check, $250 of VU on your second check, and that's all you gotta do. And that's you. Uh, paying virtually $500 per month on top of you contributing 3, 4, 5% of your 401k. You do that, boom. You don't have to really honestly do nothing else. Now, if you make more money, as in you work in a gig economy, you're doing DoorDash, uh, you're doing Lyft, you're doing Uber, uh, you have a side business, you work for commission, and you make more money. If you could do more than $250 per check, then you can increase uh, to your goal a lot faster. But typically, the reason why people just buy VU or VTI, and that's it, is because VU and VTI is to represent the representation of the whole entire USA economy. So VU is the mirrors the index of S&P 500. The S&P 500 is the top 500 companies in the United States. So typically, where you in the investing community, if you're a new up and coming person, they say invest in index funds, low expense ratios. So basically, by owning VU, the expense ratio is 0.03%. So you take that 0.03, divide by 100, and then for every $10,000, I'm not gonna do the math ahead. Let's do 10,000 times whatever 0.03 divided by 100. That's how much you have to pay the fund manager for holding that particular fund. 0.03 divided by 100 is quite low. So that's right there. By owning this ETF, you basically are paying little to no taxes or fees for owning VU. And so also another reason why people beginning investors typically just buy VU or VTI is because since it's a representation of the whole entire market, is balanced. It has certain percentages in technology, healthcare, finance, but also the SP 500 is the top 500 companies in the United States. By buying one share, 100 shares of this, your money is spread and diverse and spread out amongst 500 companies. So if one company uh, goes out of style, let's say AT&T or Verizon in the future decides to default bankrupt, you have 499, 498, or whatever many other companies that you're investing into. These 10 are just 10 of the 500 companies that you know can help diversify your funds. Or if in a down market, say for example, we go into a war and something happens, then guess what? If 20 companies or 30 companies of the SP 500 does bad, but the rest does good, it's balanced, it's diversified. You don't have to worry about you going to lose your money because guess what? You're betting on the United States economy. The next ETF, the next ETF where individuals put their money into is VTI. So unlike VU, which is the S&P 500, VTI is the whole entire market. The whole entire market encompasses stocks of S&P 500, mid caps, and also small cap stocks. So typically, if individuals that just want to just buy the market, just buy the whole entire U.S. market, and where it goes up, go down, you sleep better at night. People tend to just buy VTI, and this costs $207.33. I mean, $207.33 per share. Honestly, this one is also more affordable as well. So buying $250 per paycheck biweekly, you may honestly be buying one share of VTI per check. Now, if you can contribute more to VTI, then you can. And as you see right here, it's balanced. It invests into all of the different sectors, just like VU. And then the top 10 of VTI is similar to VU. So rather you choose VTI or VU, that's this whole entire video, VTI compared to VU, which one is better. Typically, people may go down the VTI route because the small caps and the mid caps on a longer time frame, and a lower time frame is normally between, let's say, 25, 30 years. You get more of that variety of those mid caps and those small caps actually producing more returns. But compared to VU, there's really no big difference, honestly. And then lastly, I did the compound interest calculator. So we went through budgeting, we went through figure out how much to figure out you're going to have on a bi-weekly basis in terms of money. Remember, this video is about personal finance 101. Now, by investing into either VU or VTI, $500 a month or $250 per check, which it comes to $500 per month, 30 years, getting a rate of roughly 12%, you can see that your money, you have $1.4 million. And then this if you started out with just $500. And I know a lot of people can start out with $500. It's tax time. You can get ask grandmother. You can you can do gig economy. You can do Uber. You can do DoorDash. You can start out with $500, and then by contributing the 30 years, you have $1.4 billion. And then lastly, uh, here, this shows one of my portfolios. So with one of my portfolios, I put in roughly $450 into my Roth IRA, and then I also have a rollover IRA that I also put money into. And I wanted to show you guys this one. It has about $18,848 in this rollover IRA. But most importantly, I'm showing you because I have VTI, and so typically for just beginner investors, when you just buy one uh, ETF or index fund and you just ride with it. For me, right here, I have roughly $10,349, but because of 2022 was down a lot, is actually in a negative right now. But I've been receiving a lot of dividends from VTI from all the way going back to 2021, and so those dividends actually help in terms of the return of VTI. Then also have VGT, which is Vanguard's technology ETF. And then I just have also delicious stocks like Tractor Supply, Texas Roadhouse. If you like steaks, holla at me. And then also made some adjustments where I just bought CDW, which is a tech company. Cintas uniforms. If you work in a professional manufacturing industrial environment, you know about Cintas. Monolithic Power Systems. I just added this stock yesterday. It was at $490, and now it's at $517. So I'm definitely buying more of Monolithic Power Systems. And then lastly, because we also always going to need to know what we're going to do with our trash, so I bought Waste Management trash, but it's a great stock, right? And then lastly, I got Tesla. So I pretty much got Tesla in all of my portfolios, good or bad. I know electric cars and renewable energy is not going anywhere, but yeah. And so typically, if you're a beginner investor, lastly, just gonna talk about you can rewind to the beginning of the video to show how you do a budget, figure out your budget, figure out your money on a bi-weekly basis. Once you figure out your money, then I either remember it's educational purpose only. Do research on VU or VTI. Pick which one is best for you, and then pick how much you can contribute on a bi-weekly basis. Stay consistent, and also make sure that you're contributing money to your 401k, and then you will, in the end, last topic, which is small, it's retirement. Once you follow the recipe, which is budgeting plus savings equals you having a stable retirement for either you or your spouse, or you and your spouse combined, whether you file single or whether you are in a relationship or married. That's how you do it. You guys follow the equation, budgeting, figure out how much your savings on a bi-weekly basis, pick the amount that you can live with investing. You pick that amount, and then once you figure out, you get comfortable with that. Add an additional $50, add an additional $100 per check, and then that's how you're gonna see your amounts go from $500, and see your portfolio grows to over 500,000, and then you really be like, man, I'm glad I found these videos, Kadera, right. But if not, then oh well. So hopefully you enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully these videos really inspire you, and share my content. Like, become a member of my channel. Push this content, watch my content all the way through. Hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you learn why you should invest. And then just know that this would just invest at $500 per month. If you invest more, $750 per month, $1,000 per month, you can reach your goals a lot quickly and make a lot more money in your portfolio. So hopefully you guys enjoyed everything, and I hope most importantly, enjoy your Valentine's Day with you and your loved ones, your boo thing, and I'm out.